Hello, and welcome back to the Mental Theory Podcast. My name is Cheyenne. I'm your host, and today I have a guest. This is Sierra.
Hi.
She's my sister. And what instrument? She's not a musician anymore, but she was a musician for like 7 years. What instrument did you play?
I played the viola.
Okay, now just talk about your experience. What was your experience with it?
Well, between first grade and fifth grade, I really liked it. But until like sixth grade, it got pretty toxic. And then I left at the end of grade six, but came back in grade 8 because I missed the instrument, but left again because it was even more toxic than it was when I left the first time.
Yeah, because you were put into the older orchestra, and that one was like, yeah. So
I got in trouble for not knowing how to do things they didn't even teach me.
yeah, because she was gone for the year. They would have taught her that. So yeah, they got mad at her for that.
Yeah.
And they got mad at me for not teaching you after you left.
That wasn't your responsibility.
I know.
They're the teachers.
Anyways, so yeah, because our center director, now conductor, definitely had favorites. I was one of them.
I was not one of them.
Yeah.
He only liked me because I was her sister.
That is true. He also liked our brother. Our brother was in it. He played violin. He liked him because he felt bad because when they had recess, he fell off a swing and broke his arm.
Yeah.
They're saying he pushed him. Someone pushed him.
Yeah. No one knows the full story yet, the true story, because there's too many stories.
There was way too many stories. I think he did fall.
He probably did fall because he's not the most sturdiest person.
None of us are. We're all clumsy. Though we haven't broken. I was about to say none of us have broken a bone. Our brother broke both his bones in the span of 3 months.
My knees are messed up.
So are mine.
You get fluids.
Well, I know yours swell up. Mine don't. Mine just crack and stop moving. So, yeah. Anyways, so today's outcomes definitely geared towards like therapy and stuff. That's the last outcome that we're talking about in this episode, I should say. We have one more outcome to hit for the next episode, I think. Yes. So the first outcome, psychological theories, and we're going to apply them to our childhood development, mainly in the music industry. And that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So the different psychological theories are: there's behaviorism, there's the cognitive theory, there is the humanistic theory, the psychodynamic theory, and then the biological theory. The behaviorism theory is it's a theory of learning based on the idea that all behaviors are acquired through conditioning, which could be. It was mainly advocated by the famous psychiatrist. I think that's the word. I can't think of the word.
Psychiatrist?
Psychiatrist, yes.
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 That's what it's called.
Yes, I know.
Psychologist?
That's psychologist. I said psychiatrist.
Oh!
Like therapy.
Yeah.
No, psychologists. John B. Watson and B.F. Skinner. And they still use behavioral techniques in therapy today to like help the person they're therapying
Yep.
learn new skills. And then the cognitive theory, it's focused on the internal states that includes like your motivation, the problem solving, the decision making, thinking, and attention part of your brain. And cognitive behavioral theory also helps people change their thoughts. So humanistic is focused on abnormal behavior and psychological problems. So maybe like schizophrenia and like psychopaths, like sociopaths, that stuff. The psychodynamic examines the unconscious concepts that shape our emotions, attitudes, and personalities. Like your personality disorders. It seeks an understanding that the root cause of unconscious behavior, that it helps seek the understanding that of the root causes that uncover the unconscious behavior. And the biological is attributing to human emotion and behavior to the biological causes like nature versus nurture. Have you heard that?
Maybe.
Okay. Like nature would be like what you were like what you thought.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yes.
Now.
Nurture is when you're like taught something.
Yeah,
And nature is like when you do something on your own without being taught.
Now I understand.
Good.
Okay. Okay.
How could we apply it to our own development in childhood through, I'll say, the music industry? Nature versus nurture is a big one. Like you were nurtured into thinking a lot, especially me. I find I was nurtured into thinking that our conductor was always correct. So now I see that he's not, and there's just some things that
he tried to make me become her.
That's true. That's a lot of siblings, though. A lot of the siblings in the orchestra, the better one, they try to condition the not so great ones to be like the better ones.
Yeah.
Especially when they did play the same instrument, because there's a few of them that did play the same instrument.
My only problem was he made me sit with the not so great people.
Yes, because the way he did it was like the better people sitting in the front, like all child orchestras. The better people sit in the front. The weaker people, I'll say, sit in the back. But there's some people who did sit in the back. There was a few concerts I sat in the back just because he wanted to try something out. The principals still stayed the principals.
He loved his experiments.
He did. Every single rehearsal turns into a science experiment or a science lesson. Mm-hmm. Every time. But yeah, he would sit the not as good people in the back, but then some people were actually better than the ones they were sitting next to. And when you hear something, you have a hard time actually playing the right thing. So I had issues with that too, because I was sitting with one girl literally a few months ago, and I'll tell you later. Okay. She couldn't play the right parts, but this was around when we were first learning the piece we were playing, so yeah. And then behaviorism, the theory of learning based on the idea that all behaviors are acquired through conditioning. We are conditioned to do a lot of behaviors, like hands behind your back. I still do it to this day sometimes.
I didn't because it made me feel like I was in a cult.
You kind of are. Yeah.
He'd try to make you do it outside of school, like not outside of school, but outside the program, so people knew you were in the program.
Yeah. They don't do it anymore. They don't like enforce like most of the rules anymore.
Well, they used to have people standing in each corner making sure there's people with their hands behind their back, or else they make you go
But
back.
we don't have many people in the program anymore because
I don't blame them.
Of issues.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
Oh, I thought you were saying not my problem. I know it's not.
Well, it's not my problem
either. I just didn't know what you were saying. But yeah. Okay. And then psychological disorders. That's the other one we have to hit. Psychological disorders, mental health disorders, kind of the same thing. They're health conditions that impact a person's thinking, mood, and behavior and feelings. So like any mental illness, pretty much, like depression, anxiety.
He tried making me feel bad for going to my first middle school dance.
Yeah.
And then he made me leave early for my private lessons.
You had private with him, or with
the other guy?
Oh, I forget how long he's been there.
It might have not been that dance, but he did make me leave a dance just for my private lessons.
I left a dance for Bryson.
Oh, right, his arm. No, you didn't. Tony watched me.
Yeah, but I still left early.
Oh.
No. Okay. But yeah, any disorders like that, they're and how therapy can help them. So do you go to therapy?
Yeah.
For what?
Anxiety.
Does it help?
Yes.
Elaborate.
Well, when I go, actually I had
Today?
Yeah, actually I went today. But she just like helps me with like find ways to like stop anxiety attacks and like help like not get anxiety
Yeah.
as much.
And it has helped.
Yes.
So there, because I do see a lot of people saying that they don't want to go to therapy because they think it's
There's lots of rumors that it's like not actually helpful and that they just make your life more difficult. But
yeah. Like, you've watched Ginny, Georgia?
yes, I
Georgia does not believe in therapy.
No.
When Ginny goes to therapy.
Neither did our father and stepmother until I started going.
Yeah. I was gonna do this episode with him, but
Oh,
that would have been great.
You really think he's gonna say a lot?
No,
to his
that's why I'm
child?
not. That's why I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of people say that it does help. Some people don't, but that's because of how bad it is. They should be in a
There's
mental
actual time.
hospital.
There's actually times that he does have a moment, but he just goes to his room and plays his guitar. Comes out, he's perfectly fine.
Mhm. Yeah. So let's see. Just give me a second. I think it would help. Like if I do think it would help because I'm not as bad as you.
Yeah.
But like with concerts and stuff, it'd be pretty good. But like some disorders are not as bad as others. Like anxiety compared to schizophrenia, not that bad.
It's not that bad.
No, like I'm trying to think. What was it? I talked about this in I think my last episode. Whatever episode I did hypnosis. Because an addiction could be viewed as a disorder, and if hypnosis could help you with the addiction, like get off of the addiction.
Oh.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know. I was like, wait. I was like, what addiction? I was like, oh.
Like not like addictions like cigarettes and stuff.
I smoke cigarettes.
Good. But yeah. Like other addictions like to like hard drugs and stuff, it won't help.
I don't do hard
Because
drugs either.
I would hope you wouldn't.
I don't do that.
I would hope you wouldn't. I wasn't targeting it towards you. I was
gonna
in
say.
general. But yeah. But like a disorder like schizophrenia, like you should like therapy would be really helpful. I think I knew a kid with schizophrenia. I'm trying to think.
Sometimes that stuff triggers it.
Yes. Drugs can trigger it.
Mhm.
Stuff. Drugs can trigger anything though. So
I have a friend whose dad can't be around it. She does it.
ooh.
We're not friends, but we are mutuals.
Okay. But yeah. So depending on the psychological disorder is depending on the type of therapy you go to. Like just like your normal therapist in like an office or like a school would be like anxiety and depression.
And there's also anger management.
Anger management, big one at our school. But like when you do like the psychiatrist specifically at like a hospital and like the mental part of it, that sounds bad. And the mental
Mental health part.
I don't know if that's what I want to say.
Development?
Like no, I don't know. The mental hospital part of it, like that would be
Psych ward?
like yes. Jesus. I don't know what I was trying to hit at, but yeah, the psych ward. That would be I find for like schizophrenia and like psychosis.
Our cousin was actually there. Mark.
Oh, I knew that. I did know that. But
He
yeah.
actually wrote some songs. They're not like it though. They're just kept to himself.
A lot of it is kept to himself. Anyways, but depending on, because there's, like I said, mental disorders depends on the type. Depression, anxiety are like, they're not low, like they're the lower level of mental dysfunction compared to schizophrenia and psychosis and that stuff. So it depends, like I'm just keep on repeating myself. I'm trying, but yeah, no. But yeah. So, yes. I think I hit it. I think, because I do know that they're all like on different kind of levels. So, like you'd go to your local therapist for, like I said, anxiety, depression, and then anger management. And depending on the severity of an eating disorder,
Yeah.
you could go to like your lower level. But there's sometimes you will have to be hospitalized. There's some disorders you can get hospitalized. Depression, I think you can get hospitalized.
Depends.
Depending on
yeah.
how severe it is.
If it's just like seasonal and stuff, they won't. But if it's like,
If you like cannot get out of your bed,
yeah,
like something is wrong. You like depending on
if
who
you can't live your normal life,
yeah,
they'll do something about it.
yeah, you should go.
Yeah.
So if you experience anything like that, seek help. It helps. Helps her. So
It helps me quite a bit.
there's some people I think that should go to therapy and they don't. So yeah, I think that's it. I think we've hit it. Kind of losing my voice. I didn't even talk that much.
I can hear that.
So yeah, I think we've hit it. I think we're done. So next episode will be, because this is episode 5. Next episode will be the last episode of this season with the outcomes.
Oh yeah, you have one more episode.
Yeah, I have one more outcome. I have to hit outcome 10, where I'll be discussing pathways in psychology that can specifically help musicians. So yeah, that'll be next episode, which will be released Friday because I switched up the schedule for this week. So I'll see you guys.
Start putting your schedule on your bulletin board or your.
I have my schedule in my head.
Well, you might as well put it right there. It's right there.
I could.
And then write your notes down.
I could. Anyways. I will see you guys on Friday. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.